Hi, guys. Welcome to Meat is Where It's At, date night.
As always.
As always. We are excited to see you guys. Um, we've had an interesting first week of the new year,
Yep.
I would say. I'm just going to greet everyone here.
Yeah, and while we're waiting for people to get on, just kind of chime in and say where you're joining from and how your New Year's has been so far.
We've had a pretty good new year. It's been interesting. We're excited for. Hi, Kesha. So good to see you. Welcome to our little date night live. We host these every Friday, and we love to get to know our community and just cheer you guys on because you guys cheer us on so much. Hi, Anna. Thanks for being here. We love Anna. Anna is
She's a regular.
one of our loyal subscribers. We love her. Yeah, let us know in the comments how your new year went, how your first week has gone. We have had an interesting go, I would say. Do you want to talk about your? I mean, I guess it hasn't been a week yet, right? We're
5 days in.
5 days in.
Only 5 days.
Yeah. Oh, geez. So we both decided to do Lion Diet for 30 days. And you want to talk about your experience first?
Yeah.
So far?
We could get into it maybe when we get more people coming in. But yeah, we decided to do something different and move away from our typical carnivore menu and go more into the Lion Diet, which I think was popularized by the Peterson father-daughter duo,
Jordan and Michaela.
Yeah, Jordan and Michaela Peterson. So yeah, we're just pretty much just a month of ruminant meat, salt and water. So that's kind of what we're doing.
Yeah, so my first week has been interesting. I'm kind of like struggling a little bit with the body aches and the joint pain, which I know is the oxalate dumping. And what else? I think at the beginning I struggled to sleep, so it's almost like my body went to a regression as far as sleep goes. It felt like the same way that it felt at the beginning of carnivore, like when you're having the sleep, the insomnia. So that was really hard on me, like for a day or two. But otherwise it's been okay. I feel like I've adapted okay to Lion Diet. I just made our kids a keto dessert today, and that was hard to like tell myself not to lick not to lick it. But yeah, so it's been good so far. Let us know how your New Year's resolutions are going so far. Anna said, "Oh, I thought I was about to fall asleep, but something kept me up for you." Thank you for appreciating me. We definitely appreciate Anna. 10 p.m. in New Jersey. Woo. You are awesome for being on here at 10 p.m. I am like such a early. I just go to bed so early.
Yeah.
I need to be better about that. Hi, Mark from Calgary, Alberta. How is it up there? I bet it's gorgeous. Thanks for joining us.
We have a weird year. We're not getting nearly as much snow and super ultra cold temperatures that we typically get where we're at. So
yeah, it hasn't been too bad even on the temperature side of things. Like the kids have played outside a lot more recently. Anna said, OMG, the Lion Diet is a real deal. It heals our body really fast. It's no joke.
That's kind of what we're hoping.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about like your ongoing issues that you're trying to heal, like why we went Lion instead of just staying carnivore?
Yeah. I'm trying to put the last nail in the coffin for my skin condition. So I doubt it'll be fixed in 30 days, but I kind of want to see if it's going to get better. So if I notice that it's getting better, I'll probably keep going, which I kind of anticipate that's what's going to happen. So we will see.
Yeah.
Started off January with a 72-hour fast, which is the first time I ever did that. And not as bad as you think it is, actually. First day was rough. The second day was amazing. And the third day, I think I could have gone longer if I had set a longer fast, but I think because I had set the 72 hours, I was pretty much ready to be done. So
He did so good. Like, he didn't even complain.
I tried not to.
And like, I was complaining. I was sitting there like having had my food already that day on the Lion diet, like it was like a ribeye or something. And I'm sitting there like, oh, I really want this and I really want that, like other things we would eat when we were carnivore. And Garrett just sat and listened all sweet about it. Even though I was totally like, he could have totally come down on me and been like, hey, I'm not even eating right now, but he didn't. Where are you guys?
In the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
Pacific Northwest region.
Yeah. Yes, tell us about your symptoms transitioning to the Lion diet.
For me, it's just mostly missing things that I was eating before. I haven't felt, how can I say this? I don't think I've had any physical symptoms like discomfort or insomnia or anything like that. But it's mostly just been missing the things that I was eating before. Mostly eggs and bacon, which was like a go-to for me. Not doing that anymore. So I'm mostly doing OMAD right now, which is 1 meal a day, and just filling up on beef during my feeding window. So lots of ground beef, lots of burger patties. We made a roast today, which turned out awesome. And then we've had a few steaks the last few days.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I have been documenting it. It'll be a video for next week. I've been documenting the first 7 days of the Lion diet, and it'll go through the 30 days. That's the plan anyway. But I think when I first started it, I didn't do any fast. I just kind of jumped right into it, and there was insomnia, and then I was just really snacky. Like, I would eat my meal. I wouldn't be hungry necessarily, but I would be really snacky. And so trying to break myself of that habit of like finding something to put in my mouth was hard. Like, we got the Power Pucks, which are these tallow bites that we love. They're kind of like a little treat. They're not overly sweet or anything. And I miss them. Like, we just got them for Christmas and I miss them. They're sitting in the pantry and I can't have them right now. So I'm really trying to go all the way to 30 days.
If anything,
excuse me.
If anything, Lion diet is just making me crave good foods. Because I feel like when you start carnivore, you kind of crave foods that you shouldn't eat. And now I'm just craving foods that I was eating that I'm not eating anymore. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Complaining does help, and having someone to listen to that does too. You're a good listener.
That's my job.
That is his job, to my complaining. Mark said, carnivore is definitely the right way to go to become healthy.
That's what we've seen.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of good benefits. And if anyone here hasn't started it yet, let us know. We love it when there's some new faces. We're still pretty new though to the community. Like, we started in July of 2023. So we're still learning as we go and figuring out what the best thing is for us individually. So yeah, but I agree. Carnivore is the right way to go. Definitely.
Yeah, the reason we're doing Lion for January is, like Hayley said, we've been doing carnivore for about 6 months. And since January is World Carnivore Month, we just kind of wanted to switch it up. We wanted to switch up our routine a little bit. So I'm definitely going to be going all the way. to January 31st. At least doing my best, and I'm going to be doing some fasting during that time as well.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes.
I struggle with the fasting. Like, I don't know if you guys fast. I know some of the doctors say you should fast, and some of the doctors, like Dr. Chafee, says you don't need to fast. You're like in a constant state of ketosis if you're eating just meat or
Yeah.
just beef, salt, water type of situation. So I've tried to fast recently. It was a couple weeks ago or maybe a month or so ago. And I just I just really struggled. Like I felt like I got really bloated and I got like was retaining water, almost like my body felt like it was in starvation mode. Um, and so I don't feel the best when I'm fasting. And I'm hoping eventually my body, maybe when my gut heals, that I will be able to fast and it'll be like a natural, normal thing for my body. But Garrett went on a 72, and I think you it wasn't so bad for you, right?
No.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. So let's see. Anna said, when I started the Lion, I had 24 days. Oh, of hard transition every day, some new symptom of healing all over. Yeah, that's so you must have gone from standard American diet to Lion. Is that what happened, Anna? That would be rough. That would be hard.
I think luckily most of the transition stuff that we've experienced is past since we've been on carnivore for about 6 months. But
Yeah, I would say so.
I'm missing stuff like crazy.
In general, yeah, in general, I think it's all kind of past. Um, do you guys exercise with this?
No, not really. We have some exercise equipment in a spare room that we have, and we've intended to use it, but so far we haven't been too consistent using it.
Well, I mean, I think there's the goal eventually is to implement exercise in the
Yeah.
right way. Like Dr. Sean O'Mara talks about sprinting being the healthiest, best way to reduce like visceral fat. And so, and he's so healthy looking in
Yeah.
general, like just a very healthy looking person. And so, implementing sprinting when it gets a little warmer around here, I think is something that I want to do definitely. And then lifting heavy weights is something I want to start doing. But we're trying to kind of nail down exactly what foods are optimal for us because we're still learning which ones bother our bodies. Like for me, I think almonds do.
Me too.
Shellfish. This is a funny story, really quick. So I had been on carnivore for maybe like a month, maybe 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And I have never had an issue with shellfish, like with shrimp. I'm going to say shrimp specifically.
I used to cook you shrimp all the time when we were first married. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd never had an issue with it. And then Garrett starts cooking it and he's like, "Hey, try this," like 6 weeks into carnivore. And I tried it and it tasted good, of course. But then like I got kind of a sick stomach. My stomach didn't feel very good. And then now I didn't get sick, like throw up or anything. But now whenever someone mentions shrimp or I see shrimp, I get kind of a sick feeling in my stomach. And so I think I might have like a mild shellfish allergy
I don't know.
of some kind. So I don't know, but like it's persisted to this day. And it's been like 5 more months
Yeah.
after that. And I still am like, no thanks. I don't want that.
I mean, it was that Argentine red shrimp that I got.
Yeah. Oh, that's a bummer.
It's the
That stuff
best.
is good. It tastes like lobster.
It does.
It's really, really good. I think the body needs nutrients when it cannot fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
possibly.
That's probably my body. I'm sure I'm still lacking, or I think my gut definitely still needs to be healed more. And same thing with Garrett. Because of the eczema, I think that your gut health kind of coincides with the eczema.
Yeah, it probably does.
And so overall, we're trying to clear out, or I'm sorry, what's it called? Just heal, I guess.
Yeah.
Heal the gut microbiome. And then once that happens, I think that we'll be able to implement other strategies for long-term health. But right now it's hard for me to fast. Try eating little pats of butter that really suppresses my appetite, and it works. Yes.
We found that would suppress our cravings for other things.
Yeah.
Toward the beginning.
And heavy whipping cream too. It has like a natural sweetness to it. But on Lion Diet, we've cut out everything except for ruminant meat, salt, and water. Well, our electrolytes, we take the Relight electrolytes. But overall, it's been good. Like I am enjoying it so far because it's of the simplicity.
Yeah.
But cooking for kids while you're on Lion Diet and they're keto isn't that fun.
Carnivore, I'd say. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
geez.
We made eggs for him tonight, and I could have just gone down on those things like crazy.
There was like a little bit left over. One of our kids didn't want to eat a little bit left over of hers, and we're encouraging them to like listen to their body, and when they're done, like just be done. And Garrett will usually finish those off. So we were like, what do we do with this? So that was hard because you feel like, well, I don't want to waste.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anna said, Hayley, you did a great video yesterday. The body does not lie. That's right. Exactly. Thank you for that compliment. Yeah, that video, I had just been thinking about that a lot because I do have that victim mindset, and I think I'm just like trying to push myself out of that mindset, that because you're kind of told, like Garrett says all the time, when we were kids and someone got cancer, granted, disclaimer, I know there are several, if not a lot of cancers where there's a genetic component, to it. But in general, these other cancers or like heart disease and things like that, it's like, oh my gosh, he had a heart attack. Like, why? Oh my gosh, he just has bad genetics or biology.
Just luck of the draw.
Luck of the draw. And it's like, that's how we were raised. We thought, oh, whoops, those poor people, they just got cancer. And what if it hits me someday and there's nothing I can do about it? And, but at the end of the day, we've kind of learned now that that's not the case most of the time.
Yeah.
So,
well, and how many times do we, chalk up chronic disease as just, well, you've got it.
Yeah.
And how many times can that actually be avoided? And that's kind of what we're finding out, not only with ourselves, but, by doing research. And I kind of thought that eczema was just going to be my thing forever.
Yeah.
And it seems to be going away. And I hope that Lion Diet kind of finishes it off. That would be really nice. But even if it stayed right where it is, it's 80% better than it ever has been.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's just something that I thought I was going to be plagued with forever. So it's pretty wild.
Yeah. When we first got married, he was super, super nervous about me seeing his skin.
Yeah.
And of course, it didn't bother me. Like, I didn't marry him for anything except his wonderful money. Guys, we were so poor. You have no idea. Anyway, but yeah, it wasn't about that for me. And so it obviously didn't bother me. But over the years, like he wouldn't, wear shorts in the summertime or take off his shirt to go swimming, things like that. And so we are really pushing and trying to do this Lion Diet to flip the microbiome, his gut microbiome, see if that helps, see if that heals, and then he can add things back in if you want to.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
We'll
I may
see.
Not even feel the need. Who knows?
Yeah. Oh, Anna was answering my question. No, I was never on a standard American. I did meat and veggies.
Okay.
I've been health conscious always. I eliminated olive oil a year ago. Restaurants would always make me sick and bloated. So no vegetable oils for me. I was always super sensitive. Yeah, that's a good reason to go carnivore or Lion for sure. Like, I've noticed that when I eat out, well, I don't know. I think most of the time when I eat out, I feel a little bit bloated afterward. But we've been pretty good about advocating for ourselves and like saying, hey, what do you cook this in?
Yeah.
Making sure there's no seed oils. Like, please just cook it in tallow or butter.
No oil at all. Yeah.
Or no oil. Yeah. So that's a good reason to go carnivore for sure. Here's Christy popping in. Hi, Christy. How are you? Thanks for joining us. I remember I did a vegan diet for 30 days, and on day 30, my brain almost shut down. What do you mean by that? Expound upon that, please, because I would love to know what you mean by your brain almost shutting down. Gosh, our vegan days. I think there was a lot of, I liked the variety because the fruits and vegetables and grains, there is variety there, but like the satiety, is that the right word?
Yep.
Satiety
or
lack of it on a vegan diet was so pronounced. It was so strong. And I can remember lots of vegan dishes that I like to eat, like that I liked a lot.
Miss them. Yeah.
And that we miss. But it wasn't sustainable in the sense that our bodies were craving the fat. And like what's hard is that when you're on vegan, they tell you no oil also, like no salt.
Well, if you're whole food plant-based.
If you're whole food plant-based, which we were. And so that being vegan is definitely a journey for many different people. And some people find success with it. And that's great. But for us, the being on this diet and just, our ancestors and what they ate and all that stuff totally makes sense. So, yeah, I feel you on that though. Now I was able to see how bad the veggies are for us and not enough meat, of course. Yep. We also experienced the same thing. Christy says, bite butter. Christy is so big on the bite butter, you guys. I love it. I'm so sad. I miss being able to snack on the butter, and it's only been 5 days.
Yeah.
So I'm working on it.
It's a little bit harder to snack on tallow like you can on butter. I can't really anyway.
I mean, you can like scoop it up and it's kind of like a frosting texture, but that's not like something I like to do.
It tastes better when it's cooked.
Yeah. I wonder if you put it in the fridge, if it would be like butter texture. Yeah. I don't know. Here's a question. Have you tried making dehydrated beef slices?
No, we don't have a dehydrator. I mean, I guess
we need one.
Our air fryer will dehydrate. I don't know how good it is at actually dehydrating. But yeah, I wouldn't mind grabbing one, making some jerky for ourselves.
I saw a video from Chafee where they like cut up like centimeter thick ribeyes, and then they dehydrated the ribeyes and took them with them traveling. And I was like, that's genius. I bet they're really good. Yeah. So that's something I would like to do, is get a dehydrator and, bring stuff like that with us on road trips or wherever we're going, or hiking or camping even. I think that's genius. This is a good question. When you guys met, what were the things that you liked about each other? So nice you found each other so early in life. Do you want to start?
Well, actually, I always talk about what I liked about you. I would like to hear what you liked about me.
What? I tell you all the time what I like about you. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we met at church in the singles ward, which I've gone over before, but it's the singles ward is a group of adults that are in the Mormon church, and they go to a specific ward or group of people that are all under the age of 30 so that you can find your spouse and get married. That's the goal of the singles ward. So I went to the singles ward for the first week, and I remember answering a question like in the class, and I remember seeing Garrett like kind of hunched over in the pews, and he like turned and looked at me. And then I remember seeing that. And then he messaged me on Facebook later. But the thing that I like about Garrett is when I saw him the first time, I thought, oh, he's kind of like that rugged, like teddy bear. I don't know how to explain that, but like he had that vibe, like this low-key chill guy that was like, and it just reminded me of a teddy bear. I don't really know why
I'll take it.
And then Garrett is wonderful at playing the piano. And so after our first date, he wrote me a song on the piano. Like he's fantastic, super talented, and played it for me at church. And it made me cry. It was so beautiful. And I think you still know it, right? And so it's a beautiful song. And he totally swept me off my feet. And yeah, so your turn.
Yeah. I just thought she was pretty.
That sounds right.
No, but no, she was super kind and accepting, and it was like she had mentioned before. It was hard having eczema since I was 14. That was definitely something that was really nerve-wracking for me, and probably it shouldn't have been, but it was. But actually, her response to knowing about that was probably what sealed the deal for me. So,
yeah.
And here we are. 10 wonderful years later.
Almost 10 in March.
In March, it's 10.
It'll be 10. Yeah. Okay. Mark, carnivore eating helps pretty much every type of illness you could have: high blood pressure, diabetes, inflammation, and it goes on and on.
I had a health checkup in October. 4 months after being carnivore, my blood pressure was lower than it was the previous year, which conventionally you wouldn't think that was the case if you're eating a diet of all meat.
Yeah.
But it was the case. And my doctor actually asked what I was doing. And I told him, and he said, man, that sounds like a diet I could get behind. And I was 40 pounds, actually, no, 50 pounds lighter than I was the year before. And he just told me, whatever you're doing, just keep doing it. So I did.
Yeah, he wasn't concerned about anything.
Yeah.
I went to that same doctor to do our, the yearly checkup, and I'd lost, I think, 25 pounds. And he was like, man, I remember talking to your husband and, just keep at it. Yeah. This is obviously working, and we feel better than we ever have. And so, yeah, I absolutely agree. It can heal all of those things. Regarding her brain shutdown when she was vegan, I couldn't think, I had no energy to think, to speak, to interact, headache.
Yeah. I don't know if I can attest to that's how we felt when even we were 100% whole food plant-based, but I can say that once we made the switch to a carnivore lifestyle, it's like somebody turned the lights on, and we didn't know they were off. So
yeah, it's so interesting. I feel like I'm quicker in my mind. I feel like I can function properly, but they say all the time, you don't know that you're sick. It's so true that before you're optimally healthy, I'm sure there's another word for that, but before you're at your optimum health, that before that you kind of realize oh my gosh, how was I even living day to day?
Yeah.
Me trying to function as a mother to 3 children and homeschool them and do everything I needed to do was looking back, I was a completely different person. I don't even recognize myself in the mirror as far as my mental capacity goes and who I am as a person, how I outwardly express myself now, the confidence that I have in my thoughts and my feelings now is just totally different. And so I think, we were vegan, whole food, plant-based / standard American diet for 9 years, 9-ish years. And I can attest to that. Absolutely. The, no energy, you can't speak very well. You don't want to interact with people. I think it's all this web, when your health is poor, it's all throughout your body, all throughout every aspect of your life. So I totally agree with you, Anna. Naomi said, homemade jerky is so good. We need to try it. Dehydrator is next on our list of things. The next
kitchen gadget we
to try. Yeah, we're trying to get a hang of our air fryer. We're doing good with that one, but
we just figured out how to reverse sear a steak, which makes it amazing.
It's so good. Okay, when Garrett's not here, when he's at work, and and I have to make myself a ribeye, I never make it as good as Garrett does, and it sucks. I'll be like, Garrett, what do I do? How do I make it crispy or the crust? Mm-hmm. And then he'll give me a bite of his when he's at home and makes it. And I'm just like, ugh, I'm so not good at making the like perfect ribeye, but you are. Maybe we'll make a video about that.
I just figured it out the other day. And
It's so
it is the
good.
best.
It's like melt in your mouth. Michael said, some days I slip up and it's amazing the difference I feel. I hate the way I feel when I go off the rail. So I guess I know what is right then.
That was our holiday.
Oh man.
That was our holiday.
Guys, we're human. Like, and we did do a keto for the most part, except for one dessert. We did a keto Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And I'm a binge eater. Like, I didn't realize that about myself, that like it applies to everything except meat.
Yeah. Yep.
And eggs, I would say. I don't really binge eggs or anything, but like the green bean casserole that I made that was keto was fantastic. It tasted so good.
It was.
But I just totally binged until it was gone. And I remember feeling really sick one of the nights. And I think my body acclimated to it, but then I just like kept eating it. So that's, obviously I have more work to do when it comes to my relationship with food in general. But I found that it's really hard for me to moderate, I think. So I'm going to have to be an abstainer most of the time. What are you doing? Oh,
I'm just going to the next comment. Trying to get ahead of you.
Oh, sorry. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
Weakness. I don't know if I had weakness. I mean, we had fatigue. I guess
I think I had weakness in my legs.
I had cramping, but I don't know if I had weakness.
Our memories are starting to fade when it comes, because it's been 6 months, but I do remember my legs hurting, like, and my energy level being so low that I had to lay down all the time for like the first couple of weeks. And then the insomnia was really bad. So
yeah,
that could very well be one of your symptoms of transitioning. Because your body, you don't know what parts of your body it's affecting. Like I still, to this day, will have a random day where I have oxalate dumping in my joints and my muscles. And I had that the other night. And I had to go take ibuprofen because it hurt so bad and I couldn't sleep. But it's just like, it was
last night?
all over my body.
That was last night.
Was it last night? Oh, geez. Yeah. So that is probably your body transitioning into this new lifestyle, if you're eating carnivore or keto even. But yeah, it's really tough. And I'm sorry you're experiencing that. Christy said, my new air fryer that I haven't unboxed yet is supposed to be a dehydrator too. We shall see. I'm excited to see.
I think ours says it does it too, but we had a previous air fryer that was an indoor grill.
And it was supposed to.
And it was supposed to as well.
We didn't try it.
I don't know if I could listen to that thing go for as long as it has to.
It was loud.
Yeah, for it to dehydrate. So
yeah.
I'm not sure how that would go.
Humans are not rabbits. We do not need fruits and vegetables. We are mankind. I'm assuming you mean meat.
Yeah.
We need meat. That's right. Yes.
Well, Chafee talks a lot about the archaeological support for this way of eating. It's pretty fascinating.
I think it's called Why Humans Are Carnivore. If you go to his channel, it's so good.
It's like an hour and 15 minutes.
But like I was intrigued the whole time. I'm like, oh my gosh, this all makes so much sense, because we'd seen all of the plant-based documentaries where they kind of talk about like how like they compare a bear's a gut acidity or like stomach acid to a human's, and like that we don't have claws and we don't have big giant teeth to rip it apart with our hands or something. And it's like, why do you think our brains are so big? Like we're so intelligent, like we're problem solvers. And just like every other apex predator in the wild, they're problem solvers. And so they have to come up with a tactic in order to get the animal that they need. And anyway, it's just like so great. So Dr. Chafee's Why Humans Are Carnivore.
Yeah. Yep.
So good.
Great video.
John, my brother and I used to make jerky without a dehydrator back in the day. Set the oven to its lowest setting and keeping the door cracked so moisture escapes.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
I've heard of it. So maybe we'll have to try it.
That's so cool. Yeah, that'd be fun to try.
Mhm.
You could give it a go for sure.
Probably make the house smell good too, since the oven door would be cracked.
It seems that you guys are in touch with your emotions.
She is. I don't know if I am.
Yes, you are. I think so. Garrett's working on it.
I'm working on it.
Just kidding. Yeah, I try to be. I mean, that's hard. That's I think I can be. Garrett's more analytical, and I'm definitely more on the emotional side and the feelings side. But in general, we make a good team as far as that goes, because you look at it from that way, and then I look at it from the other way. So yeah, I would say so. What character qualities do you appreciate about each other? That's a good question. I like these date night questions. This is fun.
Yeah.
Your turn to go first.
Well, Hayley kind of answered it. I think we balance each other out pretty well. When we've had hard decisions, I mean, I am more of an analytical person, but looking at the emotional side of things is definitely a plus, and that's harder for me to do. So I think in that aspect, we balance each other out pretty well. That's probably the biggest one, I would think, especially with decisions we've made in the recent past, like buying a house or the birth of our third child.
She was my idea.
Yeah. Definitely came into play there.
Yeah, Garrett is one of the hardest workers I've ever known in my entire life, and I think that's one of his greatest assets. He has a master's degree, bachelor's degree, obviously, and works very, very hard in his field. And so I always appreciate that about him, and it's definitely one of his strengths.
I appreciate it. That's a good one. Yep. Ready to prepare ribeyes? So we do what's called a reverse sear. So for me, for about a 16-ounce inch thick ribeye, so I'll get it to room temperature, and that's really important, because if you don't get it to room temperature, your final temp will be off. And you want to stick your meat thermometer in there, preheat the oven to 275 degrees Fahrenheit, put the ribeye in the oven, and don't even set a timer for it. Just let it come up to your desired temperature. So for me today, it was 125, which I think it turned out better than the 120. And then once it comes up to temperature, it's going to look funny because it's in the oven. So it's going to be a little pink. It's going to be a little gray, kind of weird looking.
It feels soft when it comes out.
Yeah,
too.
and it's really soft.
You'll think that it's raw.
Yeah, it feels like a piece of roast, honestly.
Yeah.
And then you just put your ribeye on a ripping hot pan with a tiny bit of beef tallow and do about 1.5 minutes on each side. And the beef tallow will make a really nice crust on it. And it'll by that time, the ribeye will be almost falling apart. It'll be so good.
It's so good. You guys, I'm getting hungry. Christy said, I was totally a mess energy-wise, brain fog and anxiety too, but I wouldn't have said that I had any of those. I only know it now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like someone turned the lights on.
Yep.
And you didn't know the lights were off.
It's only if you look back. Yeah. Like at the time, you think you're doing everything right. And then once everything is clear, it's like, oh my gosh, I was so sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know how much meat you eat in a day in pounds? When I started, I ate 3 pounds. Now I can barely have 1 pound a day.
3 pounds.
This is a great comment. This is a great question, because at the beginning of Carnivore, I was eating 3 full meals a day of like burger patties with eggs. Then I would have scrambled eggs with sausage, and then I would have like a steak for dinner. And honestly, like as you become fat adapted, as your body starts producing its own carbohydrates within you, you do not need as much fuel, because fat is like a low, slow burn, right? Carbs are like a quick burn, and then you need more. And so for me, over time, I've definitely whittled down the amount of food that I need to intake in order to just function daily. If we were exercising, I think
It'd
we
probably
would
be
need
more.
more fat, more protein, obviously. But as far as how much we eat in a day, let's see, we made a chuck roast. How many pounds was the chuck roast? It
Good
was like a
question.
half.
It's a pretty big one. It's probably about 3 pounds.
Okay.
3 pound portion.
I had like a third of it. And so maybe a pound. And then I think that's all I ate today, right?
Yeah, and I just had the ribeye, and I haven't eaten anything since.
Really quick though, if you haven't tried hickory smoked sea salt, you must try it.
It's the best thing on earth.
Oh my
honestly.
gosh. It is so delicious. And it's really strong. So you can salt with like Redmond's salt and then sprinkle a little, not a little bit. I mean, I like a good amount of the hickory salt just because it's so smoky and so delicious.
Don't use it as your primary salt. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's extremely strong.
It's kind of like a condiment, but man, it is delicious. It makes every single one of my Lion Diet meals fantastic.
Yep. 100%.
Have you tried any carnivore snacks?
Power Pucks.
Power Pucks are so good. We are not sponsored. I would love to be someday because they're fantastic. Our kids love it too. Like when we go to church, there's always treats afterward. And we made a deal with our kids. We're like, okay, we're going to bring Power Pucks. And if you don't partake of the treats at church, you can have Power Pucks. And they love them and they're okay with it. And they agree.
Yeah.
So we give them Power Pucks while all their friends are eating these kind of junky treats. They're eating Power Pucks and it's awesome. It's just beef tallow. There's like pork rinds in there. And then there's like, I think it's a stevia sweetener, but it's super light. It's not really, really sweet.
Yeah.
What else? I don't think we've tried. I don't think we've really tried anything else.
Pork rinds.
Oh, pork rinds.
Pork rinds
of
are
course.
my thing. Yeah.
Yeah. We sometimes, before we were doing Lion, we like to dip the pork rinds in like a type of cheese, like a softer cheese. Or you could do cream cheese even. That would be delicious. With some smoked sea salt. Oh my goodness. That would be, I haven't tried that, but
that would be
someone should try that. If your air fryer can go as low as 165 degrees, you can use it for a dehydrator. Yes, that's
check
awesome.
The setting on ours.
Yeah, we will. Do you still drink coffee now that you are on the Lion Diet this month?
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. So we're eliminating anything except for water.
Well, with our electrolytes in the water, which is we use Relight right now. We've tried Element.
Element's good. I think Element's better, but you get a better deal for Relight.
Yeah. I just think it's more budget friendly and the flavor isn't that much different in general. So I would say just go for the cheaper option. Yeah. But I like the Relight a lot. We have watermelon, lime, and mixed berry. Mm-hmm. And we like both of those a lot. But as far as like the coffee goes, I haven't had any withdrawals. It's been 5 days because I had my last one on Sunday before we went to church. And I do miss I'm going to miss the ritual on Sunday because I like to go get one and bring it to church. It's kind of like a nostalgic kind of thing now. It makes me feel happy. It makes me feel, I love the smell of it. And so I'm going to miss that on Sunday, but I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. And then I might reintroduce it in February. We'll see how it goes. But no coffee for the month of January. Nope. At home, you should only have meat in your freezer and your fridge. Keep all other grocery products out of your house.
That's pretty much our freezer.
That's a great, yeah. If you can do that and that's something that you're able to do, that's probably optimal. But we have young kids and they're still transitioning from keto to ketovore to carnivore, really. They've been really good about it, but I'm trying to really slowly implement these things so it's not such a shock to them.
Like it was for us.
They are definitely in ketosis because they have keto breath. And our baby definitely had that fruity breath for a while there, and then it kind of tapered off eventually. But we kind of use that as our marker to know that our kids were in ketosis, and they're doing fantastic on a more ketovore. And I say that meaning like for breakfast, they have scrambled eggs with a little bit of salsa and maybe some avocado occasionally.
Yep.
And then bacon, a lot of bacon on the side. So yeah, that if you can do only meat in your freezer, in your fridge, that'll probably save you a lot of money because you won't be paying for processed foods and your vegetables won't go bad. Like we experienced that a lot, just a lot of vegetables and fruit going bad.
Buy a thing of spinach and it gets shoved to the back of the fridge and there it dies.
Yeah.
I don't know how many things of spinach that we bought that we never opened.
So many. We had good intentions.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Where do you get beef tallow? Amazon. We use the South Chicago packaging or South Chicago packing. It's a black.
If you search tallow, it'll be at the top of the list.
Yeah, it's the most popular one I think to buy, and you can use it for skincare. You can use it. We use it as Desitin for our babies' rashes, diaper rashes. And what else? Cooking.
Yep.
It's very mild and it's really smooth and whipped. It's like a whipped texture. So we really love that one. I totally fell asleep. I'm here now. Hi, Ellie. Good to see you.
I hope we didn't wake
you can totally go to sleep though. Like I will not be offended. Ellie is my co-host, one of my co-hosts on Lioness Lifestyle Live, and she's over in Florida, I believe.
I know it's East Coast.
Yeah. And so she's got to go to sleep, huh? Wow, that ribeye recipe is really yummy. I have to try this. Have no idea how to operate a meat thermometer. Ugh, ours is like a bummer. I feel like our thermometer doesn't work half the time, and so we probably need a new one, but I feel you on that. Definitely. Ellie's roar for our Lioness Lifestyle Live. Come see us on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, where we always have a new guest, and it's awesome. Typically about women's health on the carnivore or meat-based living. It's super awesome. Lots of cool guests coming up. I just woke up and was like, no, I need to see them live. You're so sweet, Ellie. Oh, yeah. So here's Christy telling Naomi, South Chicago packing Wagyu beef tallow. Thank you. That's exactly what you should put in the Amazon description or search bar. It's fantastic. It lasts us a long time.
It's funny because we have 2 canisters. One is for the bathroom and the other is for the kitchen because I use it for eczema control.
Yeah.
And it's the best. It's better than any lotion or ointment that I've ever tried.
Well, and the only skincare that I use currently is I wash my face with water, like cold water, and then I just dab it dry and then use this exact South Chicago packing Wagyu beef tallow for my face. And it doesn't leave it greasy. It doesn't break me out. And honestly, I really love it. And sometimes if my skin's feeling a little dry, I'll put Vaseline over the beef tallow right after I put it on. It's called slugging. Like you could do it with any skincare product, but it really helps the tallow sink into my skin. So
and it locks the moisture.
Yeah. And there's no additives obviously in beef tallow. You know, it's very similar to our skin oils anyway. So give it a try. See what you think.
Yeah.
Hi, John. Thanks for joining us. Agree about the smoked salt. Use Redmond's to start, then add a pinch of smoked salt for flavor.
It just changes everything.
The fat. Okay, today I had the
roast.
Yeah. And roast obviously has like these chunks of fat, you know, and when the smoked salt was on the fat, I could not believe how delicious it was. It was like, it wasn't sweet, but I'm going to say like candy, like you could just eat a ton of it. It was so, so good.
And every time you pop the bag open, it feels like you're in a barbecue joint because of the smell that comes from it.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Okay, I'm going to try to... I've heard in the United States, from not eating properly, 88% are. I think you mean 88% people are not eating properly.
I would believe it.
I believe that number. 100%. Yes. Christy agrees that hickory smoked salt is the bomb. I wish I'd known about it earlier.
I know.
Honestly, it's so good.
And the tragic thing is we bought it a while ago and it sat in our pantry and we didn't use it. We kept not using it.
We forgot about it. Do you age your ribeyes?
I don't. So because
Michaela Peterson talked about that a little bit.
Yeah, so because I'm dealing with skin condition, I try to eat stuff as fresh as it is possible for me, because as meat ages, its histamine content increases. And I know for a fact that I probably have a histamine intolerance because I tried introducing fermented foods into my diet.
Oh my
So
gosh, that's right.
sauerkraut and kimchi recently, and within days of doing that, my eczema exploded. So I think I have a histamine intolerance, and as soon as I cut them back out, it calmed down again. So no, I will pretty much take my ribeyes right out of the freezer and do them as soon as I can, and have
as
them
fresh as possible.
as fresh as I can possibly get them. Yep.
And also, if anyone else thinks they may have a histamine issue with like ground beef or beef in general, any beef that isn't like immediately cut off the animal and then cooked is going to be aged in some way.
Mhm.
So you can take
An enzyme.
It's a
DAO enzyme. Mhm.
that you can take 15 minutes before a meal, and I think we got ours on Amazon.
Mhm.
And it's supposed to help mitigate that histamine reaction that you have to aged meat. So that's the reason why we try to find the freshest meat. But in general, if we know that somewhere is selling aged meat, we try to avoid that, just because Garrett has that, what we think is a histamine intolerance.
And it's a bummer because I know when you age
It's good.
your meat, it makes it taste better. It makes it a lot richer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I try to eat it as fresh as I can because I prefer not to take an enzyme for the rest of my life before I eat.
Well, like I said, I think the gut microbiome healing over time, using especially the lion diet, might help Garrett in that way, so that he won't have to take a histamine.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Enzyme.
Thank you, enzyme. In Canada, it's 80% overweight and 20% healthy of 39 million people.
Yeah, I think in the US, I think the last figure I heard was 75% were overweight or obese. Don't quote me on that, though.
Oh my goodness. Yikes. Hi, Susan. How are you? Thanks for being here. Oh my gosh, I double clicked. How are you? Susan said, I am now off coffee and sweetener. Good for you. That is so awesome. Becky. Oh man, I got distracted and forgot this was going on. Good to see you, Becky. Thanks for joining us. Anna is asking, can you make a video showing how you make the ribeye?
Yeah, we're gonna need to do that.
Yeah, we can absolutely do that. That will be on our list of videos to make. I think a lot of people struggling with preparing meat in the beginning had a fear of cooking meat. Okay, when you're plant-based for a long time and you're not ever preparing meat,
Especially chicken.
Chicken kind of grosses you out at first. But yeah, that was weird. That first week after I told Garrett, like, can you go pick up this beef, like steaks for me so I can eat for a week? And it was odd handling meat. In a way, like I grew up hunting and fishing and all of that stuff. So it was always very normal to have like bloody arms from like helping my dad, dress or what's it called? Strip, whatever. An animal. And I remember we went antelope hunting one time and I have pictures of me with like blood all the way up my elbows and stuff. And like, I think it's a very natural thing to do. But when you're in this mindset for so long, it's like totally not, it's just bizarre, very weird. So I kind of experienced that too. Eric Carnivore RN. Hello from Florida.
It's
Hello.
it's
It's
late for
late
you.
there.
Yep.
Make sure you're getting good sleep, you guys. But please, we loved having you join us late. It's like a slumber party.
Yep. Let's wear our jammies next
We'll
time.
wear our oh, we should do a slumber party live.
We should.
It would, you guys would only see us in our jammies, but you could wear jammies too, and yeah. Mark said, "Eating the right food is your medicine." Who said that? That's a quote. Is it
I don't remember.
Socrates?
Probably.
Socrates
one
or
of them.
Plato? Anyway, let food be thy medicine is the quote, and that's absolutely true. We're learning that. Anna said, "Good to know regarding histamine. Thank you guys." Yeah, absolutely. We have some friends in our church actually, and he seriously has major food allergies. So many. And so he takes that too and said that he thinks it's helping him a lot. So we're trying to get them to like try carnivore a little bit, but we'll see. We love them so much. I think I'm someone who has a histamine intolerance, which is what is causing my skin issues. Yeah, that's something that I never thought of. It's not something that you think about.
Or that anybody really talks about too.
But if you think about it, like our ancestors wouldn't have had maybe histamine in their like issues. They wouldn't have had that issue because they kill the animal.
They had no way to store it.
There wasn't really a way to store it unless you dehydrated it over a fire.
Cold. Yeah.
Anyway, so it makes sense to me that this is kind of like a new age type of issue. So we feel you, Ellie. I have 8 dozen packs of hot dogs in my fridge.
That sounds good.
Our kids love hot dogs.
Especially the Costco
Okay,
ones.
let me just tell you guys, it sounds weird, and maybe you've tried it, but one morning I was like strapped for time or something, and I didn't have a meat side. Usually we do like scrambled eggs or over easy eggs for our kids with a side of meat of some kind. And we were strapped for time, and all we had was Costco hot dogs, like the Costco brand, the ones that they sell at the food court that you can buy. And so I chopped those up, put them in scrambled eggs, and it was so good. It was so delicious. And it sounds ridiculous.
I did that.
That was me, Gare.
I was the first one.
No, you weren't.
That introduced hot dogs and scrambled eggs.
No, you were not.
100%.
I did. I'm pissed right now. We're going to have a chat after this live. No.
Because I made it a surprise for the kids, and I said the meat is a surprise.
No.
And it was hot dogs.
I did it. Okay. I'm done with this. Right. We'll talk about it later. Hayley, your hair is looking better with time. You both improved in looks recently. It shows. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I have to wash my hair a lot more now because my natural oils are so prominent in my hair and they make it more shiny too. I don't use any products. Yeah. And so thank you for saying that. I really appreciate that.
Handling meat.
Yes. Naomi is a new ketovore. And so she's saying that after having been whole food plant-based for so long, handling meat is really odd. And I totally agree. It's definitely really strange. OMG, the time just flies with you guys. It's been almost an hour now. Oh my gosh, you're right.
15 minutes.
We're so close to an hour.
We'll try to keep it closer to an hour, unlike last week where it was almost 2.
I mean, if you guys want to chat, we're totally down to chat. We loved last week. We had a blast. Yeah. You guys were so fun. Hi from Tennessee. Hi, how are you, Nan? So good to see you. Thank you for joining us on our date night. You are good parents. You're right on. Oh, thank you so much, Mark. I just had a comment today. Should I read it to you guys?
No, it's all right. But
no?
He was essentially going after us for giving our
for
kids McDonald's beef patties.
Well, it was for breakfast.
Oh, it was a
That
sausage patties.
in that video, I was getting breakfast for the kids, and so we got sausage patty with cheese and then the egg, the one that they crack and form. And he was like demanding me to do more research, but like in a very unkind way. And like, don't ever give that to your kids again. And I'm like, yes,
Jeez,
sir.
yeah,
Like,
seriously.
what the hell? It was so weird. Anyway, crazy. Our ancestors did not have sugar. Yeah, I think they probably came across honey
Yeah.
occasionally. But in general, I don't, sugar is very processed. And so it doesn't come out of the cane plant that way. And so, yeah. Oh yeah, hot dog eggs are totally a thing. Yum. They're my thing that I introduced to our kids first.
I'll give it to you.
That's all. Thank you. No, now I feel lame. I don't like that. You need to battle. We need to battle it out. Anna, Hayley, you don't use shampoo. Okay, so I use an apple cider vinegar rinse as my shampoo. It's like a clarifying, it's just like, I think it's a cup. I don't want to give you bad measurements. Anyway, you can look it up on Google. There's like a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar to a cup of water or something like that. And I use that. And then occasionally I will use a shampoo. And I can't remember the name of it now, but on my next live, I'll try to remember if you ask me and I can share that with you. It's specific to like fine hair because I do have very fine hair. I think I've lost quite a bit of hair.
I can't tell.
But it's like smoothed out, so you can't see all the new growth. I also have new growth at the same time. So, but I do try to stay away from shampoos and conditioners if I can. And the apple cider vinegar rinse works as a shampoo and conditioner. But I think that there is a period where your hair will go through a transition phase, but it's better on the other side. So give it a go. Let me know what you think. Oh, hi, Renee. You didn't miss it. You're here with us. We're still here. Love to see you. Hi, Tiger Forever. Hello from Texas. I love it. We have got to go to Texas. We were just watching a show where they were in Austin, Texas.
Well, I think we're going to try to go to Austin this year.
We're going to try, you guys. KetoCon in Austin. We are thinking and dabbling in possibly attending.
We're trying to see what the logistics will be.
We'll see how it goes. But we will announce if we decide to go to the KetoCon in Texas, in Austin, Texas. And I'm really excited about that possibility.
Yeah.
Because we haven't traveled together ever. Garrett has gone on business trips and that's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I haven't been on a plane in probably 12 years or so. But it would be fun to meet some of you guys if you live in Texas. I know Christy at Meeting Wellness is going to KetoCon as far as I know. She's going as well. So that's really exciting. It's Christy's fault. Had to watch replay. Christy, I'm just kidding. Oh, she's talking about Christy's live that she had with Coach Bronson, which I was like, my mind was being blown left and right. So go watch that video that Christy did, a live video with Coach Bronson. He talks about all kinds of things that I never even considered. So just throwing that out there for Christy. I knew there would be backlash regarding McDonald's. I think I did too. Like, as I was sitting there, I'm like, should I say that I'm in the McDonald's drive-thru? Probably not. But like, I want to share that like I'm a real person. And sometimes we are strapped for time or are having a bad day. And we also go to McDonald's. Like it shouldn't be a secret that people go there. I mean, Dr. Barry and several other doctors have been like, here's what I buy at McDonald's, like Laura Spath. And so I just think it's silly. It's silly to like come down on each other and like try to tell someone else how to parent their kids. Like I would never in a million years go out of my way to comment on someone's video like that. Like I just don't have time. So anyway, or any desire to do that. But, and Ellie's saying, I hate people like that. Oh man. I may have to go for round 3 for the last 30 minutes. I think she means watching replays. I think the apple cider while being a carnivore could work. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're not taking in it into your mouth, like you're not putting it in your body. It's just, although I know that there's a drink you can make. It's like a homemade, I think Nisha talks about a Ketorade, and she makes it with apple cider vinegar. And I made it for a while when we didn't have electrolytes at the very beginning. And I don't mind it that much, but yeah, you could totally use that on your hair. I don't think there's any really rule as far as that goes. But a lot of carnivores eat at McDonald's.
A lot, actually.
It's real life, you guys. And I don't ever want to put out there, like, I'm just sharing what my daily life is like. And I don't want to put out information, or withhold information to make anyone feel like, oh my gosh, she doesn't eat McDonald's, so I shouldn't eat McDonald's. Yeah. It's like, no, you do what you want to do or what you feel is best for your body. And I'm going to do what I feel is best for my body and my kids' bodies. And no one's going to tell me otherwise. Yeah. So, Christy said, I bought my KetoCon ticket. Yay, Christy. That's awesome. We have got to nail down specifics.
Yeah, we do.
But it would be so fun to meet some of you. If any of you are planning on going, please let us know. It would be just an absolute blast. And I'm just so excited to learn from everyone who's going to be speaking. The list is so long. I don't even know how we're going to, I don't even know how we're going to pick and choose who to go see. But also I'm so excited about the food scene in Austin, going to those barbecue places and getting the good meat, the super smoked, awesome meat. I would love it. So hopefully
the show is called Somebody Feed Phil.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix.
It's funny.
And it's delightful.
It is. It's delightful. That's a good word for it.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, trolls are everywhere. That's so true. But everyone who's here, please try not to be a troll on other people's channels either. I know sometimes I'm tempted to say something, but I would never say anything mean or degrading to anybody. But in general, we should just be positive and kind and informative. If he wanted to let me know something about seed oils and McDonald's, he could have gone about it in a much better way. Not to draw too much attention to it, but it was one of those comments that just nailed me in the heart. And I'm like, why? Why is this bothering me so much? Thanks, Hayley. Coach Bronson brought it for sure. Oh my gosh. I have to watch the replay and go all the way back because I'm really curious about the whole conversation. Your hair looks so good. It's why I'd like to try your routine. Yeah, I'm happy to get my products and take pictures of them. But I really do think that most of it is just being carnivore. And honestly, my hair is really thin, and I want it to be thick. But, yeah, I can share that routine with you guys if that's something that you're really interested in.
But it doesn't look thin. It actually looks really nice.
Thank you. When it's in a ponytail, it's teeny, Somebody Feed Phil.
Mm-hmm. It's on Netflix.
The name of, I think that's what she's asking, right?
Yep.
About that show?
Yep.
Yeah.
We actually watched the episode last night where he went to Buenos Aires, which is where I lived for a few years. And it was interesting to kind of revisit some of that stuff that I used to eat all the time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it looks, they have, what is it called? The Argentine.
Asado?
What's the, no, I'm talking
barbecue.
About the barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Did your chair pop?
It's falling backwards.
I need a new chair.
Oh my gosh. Guys, I hate this chair.
We'll switch chairs.
Years. It does this to me, and I just feel like I'm falling. Oh my goodness. Ooh. um. Oh, really quick, Anna. It's about this guy who just travels. Did you already say that?
Oh no, he just travels the world and eats their food.
Eats their food, and a lot of it is pretty meat based. I mean, I think in general, a lot of it is meat based, and so it's really delicious. But don't watch it when you're hungry.
Yeah.
I don't recommend that.
It actually made us order McDonald's patties the other night.
Ooh, it did. I didn't feel so good that night.
It was too late. And
it was too late to eat. And I wasn't actually hungry. I was just snacking. But I wasn't hungry at all. So anyway. Hi, Rhonda. How are you? Thank you for joining us today. Renee said, I have a strict rule on trolling. I only troll all on chats. Fair. That's fair. Let's see. Yeah, you guys, we caught up on comments. Oh my goodness. Well, we are over an hour. That's awesome. Thank you for joining us, you guys. If you have any last minute questions or comments, please throw them in there.
It's always fun to do this. Hayley and I look forward to it every week, jumping on and hanging out with you guys and hearing your stories. And I've said this every time we've done a live, but this is our weekly inspiration.
Yeah.
Is coming on and hearing from you guys every week.
It keeps us accountable. We've never been a part of a community that is like this, where everyone is kind of rallying around everyone. And regardless of how you do it, like whether you're keto, whether you're ketovore or carnivore or lion, it doesn't really matter. Like we're all here to just be healthy and here to get better. And that's the end goal, is to live our best lives, really. And so we are thankful for every single one of you. One more here. So you guys are doing okay so far in the lion, no challenges. For me, like in general, I think I'm doing okay. I am having like basically one meal a day. Sometimes I'll have a little bit of extra food in the evening if I'm like a little bit of leftover chuck roast or ground beef. The challenge for me is missing those little things that I used to be able to have that would like keep me on carnivore, I guess. Like the Power Pucks are a little bit sweet and I kind of crave that sweet taste still occasionally. It's not like it overtakes me and I must have it. Like it's not like that, but and then also the coffee ritual, like being able to have it before church and take it to church. It's just kind of fun. It's like our new thing since joining this church, and we love it. And so I just kind of wrap all that around in my brain, that like the coffee equals happiness and newfound community and stuff like that. So my only challenge has been trying not to have those ritualistic foods.
For me, it's just craving other carnivore foods that I used to eat all the time. Like cooking bacon for my kids is so hard. Yeah. And I have to suppress my almost automatic.
Oh, geez, like licking your fingers?
To lick your fingers, or to like just grab a piece of bacon and start eating it. Yeah. So those are the only challenges I'm facing so far. No challenges with like the food I'm eating because I enjoy it.
Especially with the smoked salt. And I'm just going to throw it out there one more time. If you haven't tried hickory smoked salt, please do. Like, I wish somebody had told me about that a long time ago. Yeah. Tiger Forever. I am on my first week of carnivore.
Ever?
That's fantastic. Welcome to the family. We're so glad you're here. That is amazing. Congratulations. I hope it's going well. It probably is rough right now. At least my experience for the first couple of weeks was a little bit rough, but I'm really proud of you for taking that step. That's hard. You're kind of going into the unknown because everyone else is telling you that it's bad, that it's going to end horribly, but you're better times are ahead, and it's going to be great. Thanks for being here. Keep us updated. We want to know how you're doing. Have you noticed any detox from not having coffee? Have
I
you?
haven't. No.
I don't think so. I think some of my joint pain could have been associated with that, but I have joint pain in general no matter what, with the oxalate dumping occasionally. So I don't think I've had any sort of detox from not having the coffee, and I didn't have it super often anyway. So I'm not like someone who had coffee every single day, multiple times a day. But if you are someone like that who's kind of developed a dependency, I would be careful about whittling it down and then maybe cutting it out. But I know lots of carnivores and even people who do lion diet who still keep it in. So, and that's okay. Like, you do you. It's there's no judgment here at all. I love y'all. God bless you both and your family. Thank you, Susan. I so appreciate that. We love the blessings. I realized how much time it takes to detox from coffee. I had no idea coffee affects me so badly. Yeah, it'll probably happen again, but in a previous live, we talked about how I would get anxiety. Did we talk about that in a previous live? I would get these anxiety attacks when I would drink coffee. And then I think my body acclimated to it and I wasn't getting those anxiety attacks anymore. But after a month of not having coffee, like when I reintroduce it in February, I bet you I will probably have those anxiety attacks again. But we'll see. I'll be curious to see what the effect is on me. Doing carnivore, great. That's awesome. We are team carnivore for the most part. Our kids are ketovore, but eventually they will transition, I'm sure. Have you tried beef bacon, or is that allowed on Lion?
I've heard beef bacon is really good.
I'm sure it's allowed on
it's
Lion.
From a cow. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's a good idea. I should try that.
I wonder if we could find it someplace. We'll have to look into that.
Yes, we do need to. Hayley, did you watch that video with the wife surprised with the cow? I didn't. I totally forgot, Renee, but I am going to go find it because I want to see it so bad. I'll send it to Garrett and it'll be a little like, here you go. Just an idea. I'm 62 and want to see my grandkids grow up. 7th grandbaby is going to be born this summer. Congratulations. Oh my goodness. 62 is not too old to start. There's no age. No age that's too old. I'm not saying you're old. You're probably very vibrant. I never know how to. Oh my gosh, but I'm proud of you. Some people might say, "Oh, I'm in my 60s. I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm going to stay the way that I am because it's too late." It's not too late. This person right here is a great example of someone who has a why. They want to see their grandkids grow up. So they're going to, because they're making that change and they're starting carnivore, and you've got this. We are cheering you on. I'm so proud of you.
You probably hear our dog snoring behind us.
Can you hear that, you guys? Can they see her? She's right here. Oh, she opened her eyes. She's snoring. That's so loud. Oh my goodness.
She knew we were looking at her.
I kind of like it better like that. You can see us better. Okay, anyway. It must take another level of strength to cook for the kids.
Feels like it sometimes.
It does. Yeah, I mean, with being on Lion, it does. In general. You tired?
A little bit.
Suck it up.
I know. Well.
It's hard when you're on Lion and then trying to cook. And it's funny because you do crave the carnivore foods now. Instead of like when you're carnivore, you can sometimes crave like standard American diet food. But now that we're Lion, it's like, I just want the carnivore food back.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I took you for granted. That's how it feels.
Just want my pork rinds.
Yeah. Garrett was sad about that the other night. He's like, oh, I really need the pork rinds.
The bin was open and the kids were snacking, and I had to literally stop my hand from going into the bin because they're so good.
Yeah.
Oh, well, soon.
Christy and her picanha.
We still need to try that.
Yeah, we do. We do need to try it still. I found beef bacon at Walmart.
We're going tomorrow.
Yeah, we need something different. I'd love to try something different like that. Thank you. We are full-time RVing and just retired.
That's the dream.
That is the dream. That's amazing. And just the cherry on top will be the health, your health, and being there for your grandkids. Fantastic. My friend is 80 and she started carnivore and she's doing so much better a month in. That's amazing. You know, you have a loved one who's like a week, 2 weeks in, almost 2 weeks in. Major changes, amazing changes. And we're so happy for her. And she deserves to have health like that. And we're just so excited for her. I'm 63, started keto at 57 and went to carnivore 6 months ago. That's awesome. Yeah, that's so amazing. At 63, you guys, it's never too late. 80, 63, 62. If you are here and you're not participating in the chat, but you feel you're a little bit older, more mature,
yes,
and you aren't sure if you should start, please, listen to these stories, these people who've had success and who are feeling so good. It's never too late. Be there for your grandkids. Be there for those weddings. Be there for just living life, experiencing life. You can do it. We all got this.
Hayley's far more interesting.
Well, I think a lot of the questions have been for you. Am I talking too much?
No, I don't think so.
I can be quiet.
No. No, you carry this thing.
I miss eggs and bacon.
I do too.
This is a good question. Why no more pork rinds?
So for January, we're doing lion, which means only ruminant animals, which is typically beef and lamb. So pigs are not included on that list. So pork rinds are pig fat.
That's why we can't have the power pucks.
Because they have pork rinds in them.
Because they have pork rinds. Yeah. She's asking if they're cooked in vegetable oil. No.
The ones that we get are cooked in rendered pig's fat.
Pig fat, yeah. Yep.
They're the ones from Sam's Club, and they are my absolute favorite.
Whoa. My blood sugar was around 400, and today it was 175.
That's nuts.
That is correct. Yeah, it's coming down. That's amazing. This one's for you. Oh, for both of us. How long do you and Garrett plan to do Lion?
The original plan is the month of January. So like we mentioned at the very beginning of the live, January is World Carnivore Month. Since we're already doing carnivore, we decided to change it up a little bit for the month of January. So we'll be doing Lion, and maybe this will be something we do every year.
Yeah. Yep. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I wouldn't mind if I see these good benefits, and like I've been stalled for a while and I would love to push past that stall. If my body wants to, if that's what's in the cards for me, pushing past that stall would be amazing. But if we see major benefits in January, I don't see why we wouldn't keep going.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We're documenting it for you guys so you can see how it goes. Becky, I didn't mean anything by what's a better word for like old? I don't want to say the word old because I don't think that people in their 60s are old. Mature.
Geriatric?
No, that's a worse word, isn't it? Geriatric is worse. I don't want to use that.
Experienced.
Yes, that's a better. If you're more experienced.
Well-traveled.
Well-traveled. What if someone's in their 60s and they're not well-traveled?
Well, they'll be more well-traveled than I am.
Probably. That's true. Okay. Better word for old is ma'am.
I'll keep that in mind.
So when I'm saying like if you're ma'am.
If you're a ma'am.
If you're a ma'am. I like that, Renee. Renee, no. Oh, you guys are funny. Oh man. Okay, you guys. Well, Renee said, okay, mature. I'll use mature next time. I hope nobody took offense to that. Like, I totally don't mean offense. I'm just like trying to figure out what the best way to, say that is. Mature is a good word, I would say. Okay, guys. Well, we are going to go spend the rest of our date night
Probably watching something.
watching something. Maybe, I don't know. Some what do we watch? I'm sure they want to know. Oh, but somebody feed Phil. That's
Yeah.
what we'll be
Or
watching.
Arrested Development.
Or Arrested Development. That's a good one. Yeah. So anyway, thank you so much for joining us today. We love being here with you guys and chatting with you and laughing and having a good time. That's what this community is for. That's what it's about. We try to encourage all different stories and backgrounds to be here with us so that everyone can know that this lifestyle is for everyone and anyone who wants to try it. So thank you for being a part of it with us today. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. And like I said, I'll reiterate it. This is something we look forward to, just hearing from you and just hearing your stories, and it's super motivating for us. And we use it as kind of a refresh, kind of an encouragement for us to keep going until the next time we talk to you the next week. So yeah, this is definitely super enlightening for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks, guys. We will see you next Friday at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time as usual. Feel free to like or share or whatever. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And we really appreciate all of you. Thanks for being here.
Yep.
Our cholesterol is fine.
We'll see you
See you
next
next time.